I've got 5 swings for you on this episode. 5, what I regard as 5 of the best swings. They're unique to the individuals. That's what you've got to remember. What kind of body type are you? What kind of a tempo do you have? Are you fast and high-strung like Arnold Palmer and Lanny Watkins? Quick. Well, you think about that while you look at these 5 swings. We're going to have 2 Americans, a woman, and 2 Europeans, and I think you can guess who they are. Let's start with the top 2 Americans, Scottie Scheffler and Bryson DeChambeau, and learn from them. Scottie's swing resembles Jack Nicklaus's in some strange part. One is this right flying elbow, where you remember Nicklaus took it up so high, he's swinging up instead of around. That's what Scottie Scheffler does. And as a consequence, used to criticize Nicklaus for that flying right elbow, as they say.
Well, you know, they talk about what a flying right elbow is. A flying right elbow, to me, is not. It's a balance of the club should always remain between your arms, pointing. And you see his club, if you point back, it's pointed between the V of his arms. Mine's pointed between the V of my arms. To me, you're off balance when you're like this. And you actually get off balance going the other way. So I always thought that was the proper balance position. Never looked at it as a flying elbow. I think they called it a flying elbow because I got my hands so high. And Scottie gets his hands high.
Scottie doesn't have that elbow as high as Nicklaus. It enables him to get this wide takeaway. It's great for width to your swing, but it's not pretty. It just flat out works. He is the best ball striker on tour, gets the best results from his swing. With the driver, he's long enough, and when he misses the fairway, he misses it by this much. He doesn't go into the woods or into the pond or anything. And his iron shots, well, they're the best on tour. His approach shots are marvelous. What is there about Scottie Scheffler's kind of peculiar swing that works so well? What is unique to him is the foot slide. As he's hitting the ball, as he starts down, his right foot begins to slide like this. I mean, it goes a solid foot as he goes through impact. He's up here like this, starts down, and then this foot just slides and slides. But it's all about getting into the position that Scottie Scheffler wants to get into. So he had that bent left arm at the top, but what it did, it enabled him to get from here at the top all the way back to here, which is what Scheffler wants, that big, wide swing. Also, his swing is up and down. It's not rotating like this, up and down. So he does have some peculiarities to his swing, but man, do they work for him. Everything is so that he comes into the ball square or even slightly open, and he can keep that on line. So his ball will move, will go straight and then slightly left to right. He is never going to get into trouble. He's like a combination of the best of Jack Nicklaus and the best of Lee Trevino. But let's talk about Bryson and his swing, that one plane swing. He looked kind of strange when he came out on tour with this new swing, because up to then he had a pretty classic swing. Did some things different to the one plane swing. He added a Bryson DeChambeau addition. Bryson has a hip slide and a foot slide, plus he lifts his left heel way up. He gets that great turn, and he hits the ball longer and longest on the tour. So what is the plane of the golf swing? Well, it goes from the club head, where the ball is, all the way through to the top of the club head at the top of the swing. And it's the way that you get it from here to here. Traditionally, the golf swing is, as Ben Hogan told us, it's like a plane of glass that runs from the ball, the plane of glass setting on our shoulders, but it goes from there back to here. So this is the plane that you swing on. It's a much more around your body kind of swing. There's also the single plane swing, which is Bryson DeChambeau. In other words, his hands are high, up here like this, and the plane just goes on the shaft, extended all the way up on this single plane that goes back here like this and then when it comes through, it stays on that same plane all the way up to the sky. It's not just the guys. We can learn a lot from women golfers, especially women professionals. Paige Spiranac doesn't play the LPGA, but she has a great golf swing, and you can learn from her. Let's watch Paige Spiranac. This young woman has power, power, power. We're going to take a close look at her swing. Paige, because of her athletic background, that woman, she has powerful legs, and she uses the legs in her swing. She's got two parts to her swing. One is she has a wide takeaway, which is excellent, and then uses her legs in the swing. So she comes down and her legs thrust. She pushes off the ground and uses that leverage to really drive a golf ball. She swings like a powerful male golfer. And those of you who are seniors, you could probably beat Paige in arm wrestling, right? I mean, you're strong as she is. Get that lower body into the swing. Drive off the ground. Use the ground as your force and use those legs. Thanks to Paige. And did you learn from her source of power? Wow, a lot to learn from that young woman. Now let's go to two Europeans, and you know who they are. They've dominated for the last several years. Tommy Fleetwood and Rory McIlroy. I want you to think of maybe you and Tommy going out for a beer together after his tournament round and getting some of the suds, right? A brew, suds, S-U-D-S. So we're going to use those four letters. The first one you know, the steady head, how his head does not go up and then down like so many golfers, especially the power hitters. It just stays on a steady level. Secondly, he teaches two great tips for the driver and for the iron shots. It has to be up, down. In other words, steady head and then think up and down. What do we mean by up and down? Most guys, most amateurs and high handicappers wind up swinging down on the driver. When they swing down, they either hit behind it or the ball pops up. You've got to swing up on the driver. Here's a tip. Hit this one and miss this one. Whoa! Huh. All right, let's do this. So we've got to be swinging up. No problem, was it? Because the swing was going this way. It's not a lift, it's just swinging up instead of the swing down. But swinging down, that's next. Tommy Fleetwood says with the driver, with hitting it up, you think of an uppercut. You're a boxer and you're going to throw that uppercut. And here you do not. You stay steady over the ball, put more weight on your left side, this way. In fact, I've seen Tommy Fleetwood do a stomp with his left foot. Just before he hits, this is in practice. That makes you think, I'm on my left side. I'm on my left side. I'm on my left side. Swing down with the irons. This time I'm going to take a divot, good divot. I clipped that very nicely. The ball went beautifully, but I could have swung down just a little bit more and take a divot. So what's the secret? It's this. I'm just going to turn this right-handed driver over like this and hit a drive left-handed. That's a keeper. That's what Tommy Fleetwood did. He started hitting left-handed. He said every golfer should hit balls left-handed, just a bit. That way you get everything imprinted that you need to remember. To quickly recap then, suds from Tommy Fleetwood, S-U-D-S. First is that steady head that he has throughout the entire swing. Second is swing up with your driver, D, swing down with your irons, and finally remembering his special secret, hit some balls left-handed. It'll get you really focused on what is a fundamental to golf. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you like what we're doing on Ironman Amazing Golf. And give some comments. Who are your 5 favorite golfers? Who would you like to copy? Let me know. Rory McIlroy's swing, well, it's perfect. It is the best power swing of all time, no question. What does Rory have that is so special unto him? I call it the 3 H's. The first H, of course, you know what it is. It's his head. Boy, does his head stay steady in all his swings. There's another H that you can emulate, the left heel. Most of us, when we swing, we lift the left heel. We get back here, it enables us to get a better turn. McIlroy keeps that heel down so that massive shoulder turn just begins to create so much tension so that when he lets go with his hips, man, that club head speed is incredible. Heel down. Will it help you? Maybe, if you're flexible. If you can keep that heel down, build more tension between your shoulders and your hips. H for head, H for that left heel, and then H, which is really important, for the hips. The hips. What do you say about Roy's hips that hasn't been said before? Well, it's all about the X. Rory McIlroy makes the greatest X with his hips and shoulders you've ever seen. It's done like this. If your hips are open like this at impact, so this is where your hips are, and your shoulder is back like this, these form an X. He has the greatest X, the greatest separation between the hips and the shoulders. It's like you're just keeping this right shoulder back and somehow just making it stay back there as far as you can while the hips rotate as fast as they can, and boom! There is incredible power and accuracy. Rory McIlroy, H, 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 and X, the best. I don't know who's your favorite golfer. You don't hit very much, do you? Well, I'm not an Ironman. Yes, you are an Ironman. Thanks for joining us. I hope you learned a lot on this episode. Keep watching and join us on Absolutely Amazing Golf with the Ironman.